Yeah, so Poppy and Zena, famous for having an adult child that they, I don't want to say abused, but like didn't not abuse, I guess. Famous BPD, also probably BPD person. We watched them talk about, what was it? Trans pregnancy. So womb transplants, shit like that, about how they're not so far off. Everything I know about that whole thing seems weird as fuck. I don't want to womb transplant myself, but sure, whatever. Anyway, this one might be a bit of a weird one. I don't really talk about Israel-Palestine, but these people have something to say about it, and it's going to be funny. Probably. Maybe it's not going to be funny. Who knows? But yeah, this is anti-electoralism is genocidal accelerationism. There is more than Israel-Palestine. So I guess this is people that didn't want to vote for like Joe Biden or something, which they can't now anyway. So hey, everyone's re-energized. Everyone's not on this kind of shit anymore. But it's interesting to me what these people say. So hey, let's have a look.
You pick your villain, you pick your enemy. And right now, useless Democrats are a lot easier to bully than fascists. Anyone that says these two parties are the same does not care about trans people, does not care about people of color, does not remember when Trump was black bagging people, does not remember when the Trump administration was trying to take away a whole bunch of trans rights, including getting rid of our ability to go to like, abuse shelter.
Yeah, so Zena on the right here generally spends all her time not paying any attention and just pops in whenever Poppy, who is the AMAB trans woman here, needs a bit of a hand. So far, if you think both parties are the same, you don't care about trans people, so that's nice. I don't know why we always do this. We have this like, if you don't do this, that, and the other, you're anti-trans. A bit like that bizarro fucking... Who was it? That, trans psychiatrist, Jamie something. I think that Ray Alex Williams did a video watching the same thing that I watched. It was completely deranged, but anyway. These people are well versed in manipulation from what I know. There's a lot of like weird controversies, but we're not going over all that. I would advise maybe watching this. Someone called Goddammit Malcolm that covered a lot of this stuff. So maybe if you want to have some degeneracy pumped into your veins, then that's probably a good place to start. But yeah.
They don't care.
Biden's handling of Israel and Palestine has been awful, but we still need to vote for him as leftists. Let's see.
Hey everybody. So this is kind of a twofer. We haven't really been watching other streamers for a while. In fact, we really haven't been watching a lot of the online left. And the reason for that is that if I want to be 100% honest, y'all kind of let me down. And
because all of them shat on her because she was abusing a kid.
I'm going to bring up two issues. There were people on the online left that I literally thought would have my back because I tried to have their back multiple times. I tried to support them, tried to do things, and they didn't. They stayed silent, or they even went forth and talked shit. Keffels flat out lied, claiming that I had asked her to get involved with drama when I had asked her how to deal with a harassment campaign.
Like person to person.
What? Keffel's lying? That's crazy.
Like in DMs asking her how to deal with it, how she dealt with it. Vosh has been irritating me because, spoiler alert, he's been doing the anti-electoralism stuff. He's been saying, you can't push leftists over on Biden. I'm going to make one thing abundantly fucking clear. Like, there is an election coming up, and I loathe anti-electoral bullshit. Do I think voting is the only thing you should be doing? No. Do I think that you should...
By the way, I do generally agree that, like, shitting on the preferred candidate as well as the one that's less preferred doesn't make a huge amount of sense. It depends how you're doing it, I guess. Like, it's not like people on the left just shouldn't criticize someone like Joe Biden or whatever. But at the same time, like, you should be able to believe in like harm reduction and understanding that one of the candidates is probably a bit closer to what you believe in than the other, because there's almost never a perfect candidate for anyone. Like,
rely on the Democrats to make everything better. No. Do I think that you should in any way, shape, or form just sit on your hands and do nothing? No. You pick your villain. You pick your enemy. And right now, useless Democrats are a lot easier to bully than fascists.
Fascists. We're going there already, okay.
Anyone that says these two parties are the same does not care about trans people, does not care about people of color, does not remember when Trump was black bagging people, does not remember when the Trump administration was trying to take away a whole bunch of trans rights, including getting rid of our ability to go to abuse shelters. They don't care.
Oh, and just death penalty. Trump also just
Trump killed more people than anybody.
Yeah.
You can watch the last week tonight on this. So one of the things that's a really big frustration
They're not gonna substantiate that. That's nice.
Of mine right now, and Sage said this really well, and she'll get into it more when she talks about it in her video, but my beef with the online left right now is this idea that we need to hyperfixate on Israel-Palestine. Do I like what's happening to the Palestinians? No. Is it?
God, she does a lot of the question talking. There's a lot of, well, do I think this? No. Do I think this? Yes. It's getting a bit repetitive.
The G word? Yeah. Is it bad? Yeah. Is it the only issue? No. If you are a single issue voter focusing...
Yeah, I mean, they probably have some technicality that they base that off, but I've no idea what it is. To be clear, I'm not a Trump fan myself, but I wouldn't just make those kind of claims about someone, he killed people, in what way? Are we talking physically he killed people, or 50 steps on from him taking an action whilst being the president, some people died? Because there's a huge difference between that. But this is how trans people talk. We like to skip a lot of steps, to make things sound worse than they actually are.
Exclusively on Israel-Palestine, we have a problem. Yeah, Project 2025 is a thing. So this idea that we need to hyperfixate on the Israel-Palestine problem is dumb as shit. It's absolutely short-sighted. Do I want it to end? Yes. Do I want us to intervene? Yes. Do I want us to just fucking make Israel stop? Yes. The concern that I have is that if we act in single-issue voter way, we are going to do real harm. Trump is not going to just suddenly be good on this matter. In fact, he's probably just going to hand Israel more weapons and not care. And you forget that if you support the Palestinians, you also probably support the Ukraine. Do you think Trump is going to back Russia or Ukraine? And I've been seeing trans girls on fucking Twitter who are Australian, Irish, European, all these different people saying, I'm not voting for Joe Biden. And it's a funny joke, right? Because you person initially doesn't know that. But then you see the people who don't know that they're from another country. They don't know this bitch is Canadian. And so what they do is they basically see a trans woman who has lots of followers say she's not voting for Biden. And that shit does harm. This is the shit that Vosh used to get on.
Does harm. I hate these people. I hate whenever people say harm in such a general way. I just hate that shit. If someone's talking to me and does that, to me it's well, you either need to define the harm or you need to stop with that point. One or the other.
Sean Ford, I think as leftists, we have a duty to put the best enemy in the White House possible. And in this case, it is Joe Biden and the Democrats. Because we at least know if we can get them in the House and the Senate, we can at least get something done. Will it be perfect? No. Democrats suck. Will it
be worked with?
Yes.
Sure. Yeah. Way better than the Republicans can.
I'm sorry. I need everyone to be adults in this situation. I need people to actually think. I'm sorry. Every video I see come out from leftists is just slamming on Biden, slamming on Biden. Hell, on the video I have up right now, I have a Vosh video that's previewed to me that says it has a picture of Joe Biden talking about Hamas and fucking Israel. And it's again, the hyperfixation on this and the ignoring of the fact that Trump wants to pass a federal ban on fucking HRT for trans kids. And if they can do it for adults, they damn well will. Damn well will.
Yes. And you guys realize too that when you put out the negative stuff, that's actually an incredibly effective tool. This is why there is so much stuff negative out there going, oh yeah, this person's bad and bad and bad. And this candidate's done all these awful things, because that sticks in people's memories as bad. And that is a really effective way to get people not to vote for them. It's in fact more effective than showing all the positive things about your candidate. And this is just political shit 101. This is just basic things that we know about how our system functions. If you are involved at all in political, anything, this should be fucking obvious. It sucks to see people not actually take into account, just basics about how politics function, how advertising function. People who should know better and have shown that they know better in the past. Also, this isn't new.
I don't know how they think they're gonna stop people from shitting on Biden, but sure. I mean, this was the same thing that Xanderhal got his ass into trouble for the millionth time. He was like challenging Vaush to a debate over Biden because Xanderhal was like, no, Biden's based actually. And then Vaush said no, and then Biden dropped out immediately. So that was a bridge burned over like literally nothing and about the only one he had left. So that was nice.
Like, again, like Israel-Palestine is going to happen every 10 years unless they, unless Israel finally completes its work, I suppose. Is this a horrific situation? Sure. Is it something I want to end? Yes. But again, here's my issue. And this
Drinking game, every time she asks herself a question and then answers, is starting to drive me insane now.
This kind of comes back to the things that I'm bothered by.
I was going to say.
Oh, go ahead, please.
The whole thing of this isn't new. We have always lived in a country where you have to pick one or the other. That has always been the case. All right, at least for the presidential elections, that's what it ends up coming down to. You get one or the other, and everybody knows it. And you know what? It's not that hard to tell people when you're like, well, what do you want? Do you want peanut butter and jelly, or do you want ham and cheese? All right, if you think one of these things is awfully nasty, go with the other one. Like, this is really basic stuff about how politics functions. Maybe some of your local elections might have, 4 out of 6 people for a school board or something.
I want to say they're explaining it like the audience is children, but A, they probably have at least some children watching because, it's fucking YouTube. And B, they're talking about like far left YouTubers. So, whether they're children or not, the mental age is still somewhere around there, I guess.
That's it. All right. We're dealing on the presidential level. Like, people have to get their head around multiple things and show that they're actually functioning adults. Like, it is not that hard to sell somebody on, hey, what do you want more? Which one's worse?
Answering questions no one really asks. Yeah, true.
Because that's the only option.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the thing for me that stands out is that, like, anytime someone says this shit, and I'm not going to steal Sage's shtick, but I will say that, like, every time someone says this, what I hear is, fuck trans rights. That's what I hear. Or they just believe in make-believe. That's what it comes down to.
God, that's so cringy. Like, oh my God, like... I'm not voting for Biden because of this, and this that I don't like about him. Yeah, well, you're saying basically fuck trans rights. Like, come on. Like, this person is like in her 40s. This is like child logic shit. Like, And people think that this is how you should be thinking about this shit. This is what I hear over and over. And apparently this is a good point. To me, it sounds like they're trying to manipulate people into doing what they want by being like, yeah, well, that means you hate me and my people. Does it though? Does it? Maybe trans issues aren't as important to everyone else as they are to you. Maybe because you're trans, it's like kind of inflated for you compared to everyone else. And it's mad.
Like, it's just magical thinking, all the children. That's what it comes down to. They want to magically hope somehow a third party candidate will win. They won't. They can't. The system doesn't allow for it.
Okay, I say that they're using like child logic, and then they're straight away like calling other people children. So brilliant.
Fix the system, change it. But the problem is if Trump wins again, we are all screwed. Do you think he's going to weaponize the Department of Justice again? Do you think there's going to be more black bagging? Do you think they're going to allow some, actual like Black Lives Matter protests again? Do you think that trans people are going to be able to keep getting HRT? Go find that LGBTQ Nation article that shows all the things they did in just 4 years to trans people. They are going to go hard against us because right now we are the target du jour. To me, this is people telling me that they don't care about any other issue than virtue signaling about Israel-Palestine. They want to scream how terrible it is and how bad it is. And it is. It's awful. But to basically be willing to say...
And to be clear, like, single issue voting is cringe, especially single issue voting over something that's not even happening in your country. We've got several MPs now, because of our recent election, that were literally just voted in because of their, like, Gaza policies, and that was about it. If those are even policies, more like stances, So, people will do that shit. Like, that people aren't saying, oh, well, it's because you don't care about trans people, because these candidates have nothing to do with what happens to trans people. But still, these people are out there. So it's not that I disagree with these two, but they're presenting it in a really cringy kind of way. I don't know.
Sell out all the other issues we have to deal with. I'm sorry, the environment, infrastructure. Like, we have other shit to worry about. The border. Do you want people to have a chance to come in and declare amnesty, or do you want them shot? Fuck me. Like, this is not hard. So I guess I just want to say that, like, I am really disappointed. And this is why I don't consider myself part of the online left anymore. This is not like our leaving the left video. I'm still a leftist. So it's easy. But the reality is that I want nothing to do with these people because they can't pull their heads out of their asses. All of these, like, thumbnails that are hyperbolic and going hard on Biden and all that stuff. I'm sorry.
Oh, wait, this is someone Xanderhal could tag along with then, because this is the same basic take.
Like, hold your fucking nose and shut up. I need it to not be this, because you are going to sell out trans rights. That's what's going to happen. You are going to sell out people of color.
I wonder how they feel about, like, men in the polycule. I think they've only ever had, like, trans women and actual women, so I don't know. I think they should try it though. I mean, Xander Howe's a thing for like older women, so I think they'd all go very well together. They can all have pretentious conversations about how great Biden would have been. I don't know.
You're going to sell out the people coming over the border. You're going to sell out all of these things over one issue, and one issue that's
still fuck over Israel and Palestine.
More
that
so,
entire
right?
issue. You are still going to cause more harm in that area if you go with Trump.
I know it's not fun voting for an old fucking random fucking guy. I don't get it. But again, he's been more supportive on trans rights than any other president. He's been one of the best union presidents we've had in a while. He's not great. But you know what? If Trump wins this, we're fucked. Because honestly, as much as he loves fucking with the system, and because apparently the magic people in their robes can just change laws however they want, there's nothing to say he has to leave office. He nearly didn't last time. People like to go, oh, January 6th wasn't that big of a deal. The motherfucker created an insurrection. What are you doing?
We're still having a hard time making the legal
Listen, this is soy as fuck, but I do agree. Like, he's a traitor to his own people, and now he's running again. I think it's insane, but
battles happen for. He's still on the ballot.
Yeah, Biden being in power gives us 4 more years to hope Trump dies of a heart attack from all the McDonald's. Because you realize that when Trump dies, the Republican Party falls apart. Every time he stops at a Wendy's parking lot, I cross my fingers. I just hope that one of these days, just something gets stuck in his arteries.
okay, this is this is a bit sinister in hindsight. Oh my god.
That's what I'm hoping. I need people to think of local elections. I need people to think of the fact that the presidency, like Biden got into office and gave back a shit ton of rights that we lost day one. And Trump can erase all that with the fucking swish of a pen. I know there are people.
Folks, please vote for Biden, folks, please. No, please, folks.
People that are haters, and I know my stalker's going to say some bullshit, and there's a bunch of people that think I shouldn't be a therapist, blah, 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 blah. I don't care. Even if you don't like me, there are other therapists and doctors and psychiatrists and psychologists and a lot of other people that are professionals that work with teens and kids. And those people are trans and queer. And Trump could make it so that we wouldn't be able to do that. I have seen talk of wanting to basically bar people like me from working with trans kids.
Let's get a show of hands or whatever equivalent. Who thinks this person should be working with kids? I don't know. If all the leaks and stuff about their adult child are true, which they seem to have copped to at least some of it, like some of the pretty abusive behavior and the weird shit they like say to each other and stuff. I don't think this person should be around any kids. That's got nothing to do with her being trans. It's got to do with her being fucking weird.
So many of my clients come to me because they want to work with another trans person because I get it. I understand what they go through. We connect. So even if you don't like me or you think awful things about me or whatever, I don't give a shit. There are thousands of people that will be hurt. And all the people that are their clients and their patients will be hurt. This shit has ramifications. So if you're not in the US, shut the fuck up. Or tell your American friends to fucking hold their nose and vote Biden. Because I'm going to tell you this. If you're in the Ukraine, you want Biden to win. Full stop. If you're in the EU, you want Biden to win. And if you're an American and you're saying this shit, don't.
I'm not in the EU anymore. I guess I'm all for Trump now.
Call me your ally. Don't come fucking near me. If you're just going to sit there and just sit there and turn your nose up at the idea that you can't just fucking fill in a goddamn box and vote for the guy who's basically acting as, sadly, the only thing holding us from Armageddon, guess what? I don't care. Your ideology is gross. I'm not trying to fearmonger. Like, we'll survive. We'll all fight.
Please, folks, please vote for Biden. Oh my God, there's not much left.
Find a way to get through this the best we can. But it's a lot harder under Trump. Because when the economy goes to shit, and as much as I know people talk about the economy and the GDP and all this shit doesn't matter, there's still greater harm. There's still bigger problems. There's still larger issues. When Trump was in charge, everything was worse. Yeah, if you're any part of Canada, we need Biden to win, objectively. So we'll end that here. But just, is there anything you want to add, Zizi, before we finish up this?
Yeah, just a friendly reminder, this is one singular office. This isn't the only thing that this isn't the only thing that people have to do. You have local groups, you still have stuff on the state level. There is still tons and tons more stuff to do. So yeah, this is one choice, but there's still more to do.
So with that said, I suppose we will see you in the next one.
So remember, unless you want Zena and Poppy to be brutally murdered, make sure you vote Biden. Oh wait, you can't anymore. Shit. Oh well. Well, that was fun. Anyway.